Hello, welcome to the It's Raining Crafts podcast. My name is Raina. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry under SL Chick. Today is Serbian Christmas Eve, Friday, January 6, 2017. Merry Christmas if you celebrate. I know we always used to celebrate when when my grandma was still alive. So, I took a little hiatus for the holidays. I went to visit my mother in California, and we went to we I came back, and it was like full-fledged craft show and getting stuff done, trying to get stuff done for Christmas Eve. Because I took a little hiatus and was like, oh, I won't take my nephew's hats with me. Well, I got them done, but I need a little help. So, a little more assistance with it. So, but you're not here to hear about my trip. You're here to hear about my knitting. So, why don't we get into my knitting now? So, the first project that I finished are my friend Krista's socks. She wanted socks when I saw her in November. And so I went into my stash and I pulled this out. This is Plymouth Yarn Happy Feet in the number 27 colorway. I did my basic 12, my basic vanilla pattern, because I always do the first pattern like I always do mine. Because if they want a second one, they can tell me if they want them taller or shorter. So I did my 12 rows, my 32 rows, my heel flap and my gusset, and then I did 40 rows until I reached the toe decreases. And they're done. These were casted on at the end of November. I think it was either in October, end of October, beginning of November, but they're finally done. So, those are in a bag waiting for my friend when I see her. The next project that I have, the next couple ones, I do not have with me because I gifted them. So, I did the Zaraball socks for my mother-in-law out of the gray shades, and they turned out really, really cute. I had to rip back on the toe to to rip back on the toe because I messed up. And I blame the election because this is a picture of them. Because, or maybe this way, you could see them better. But, I did when I was doing the toe decreases, instead of 4 places, I was decreasing in 2. So, I had to rip the entire toe back and redo it. But that was fun. Sorry. We are the next finished object that I don't have is Henry's hat. Now my nephew loves his book, Henry's hat book, and I made 2 because I have a 4-year-old nephew and a 9-year-old nephew, and the 9-year-old likes to match the 4-year-old, so I made 2. One in a bigger size and one in a in the smaller size. So this is my nephew in his hat at school. He loves it. He just is tickled pink, and he tickled Aunt Raina so much, because I gave them. We had a late gift exchange because Cal got sick, and then my husband got sick, and schedules wouldn't mesh, and so we finally we finally got to exchange gifts on Monday. So my nephew was so tickled by his hat. He's like, Henry's hat, Henry's hat. Oh my God, it was like so precious. And he ran into the kitchen and showed his mother, and my mother-in-law was in there with her, and he came back out and he gave me this huge hug, and he kept saying, Henry's hat. He was so excited. And my father-in-law usually does the shopping for my sister-in-law's bakery. So he spent the night there so he could use her car, because we have two cars, but one is out of commission right now. So my father-in-law told me that the next day that he was down. Cammy came downstairs, and he had my father-in-law put his hat on his head. Henry's hat. Put Henry's hat on his head, and Cammy just like grabbed that and put it on his head. It was like, oh my God, I'm so like in love with my nephew because he loves my knitting. So that is always a great feeling when your knitting is well received. My 9-year-old nephew, he wasn't impressed, but he's 9. I didn't know what to make him, and Danny said that my sister-in-law said that Tucker usually likes to match Camden. So, and then my next project that I finished was out of my Ba Savannah yarn. This is wool and cashmere. It's a sockhead hat by Kelly McClure. I did it on US size 2 needles, Trigun needles. I worked on this on the plane, and then I finished it after Thanksgiving dinner that night at Carol's house, and I wore it most of the time that I was visiting my mother. I am an ambitious knitter. I'm like, oh, if I finish this, then I have to take something else to start. Well, this is the only thing that I finished on that trip. So I really didn't, I don't want to say I didn't know any better, but anyway, I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry. That Henry's hat, I will tell you, is a very tedious pattern. And your count has to be right, because your decreases have to be right, and your stitch markers have to be in the right place, or you throw your count off. It's just, it's a process. So the next one that I have, or going in my whips, I am going to make a Henry's hat for my son. I was in the process. I said I can get 3 done before Christmas. This was in the summer when I declared. But life happens. And I finished 2 instead of 3. So my son My son is patiently waiting for his Henry's hat. And that's okay. But it's in the same colorway. It's in the grass colorway. From Knit Picks Wool, the Andes, size 7, Knitter's Pride Dreams Needles. The next project I have is for me. I got this bag at Green Planet Yarn when I was visiting my mother. I saw this on their Instagram feed, and I was like, oh my God, I totally need that. So I told my mom when I got to my mom's, I showed her the picture, and I'm like, look at all these bags. I said, look at that Van Gogh bag, though. I said, I need that bag. So, so we went to Green Planet Yarn on Black Friday in the evening and did that. But in here is my Terribly Simple Shawl by Caitlin French. I casted this on probably a week ahead of my trip to see my mother for Thanksgiving. This is Shalimar yarn, Breathless, in the wort and chocolate colorway. I think it's beautiful, and it's so very soft. But I made a declaration on this shawl yesterday. I will tell you, because Boston Jen of the Downseller Studio podcast is having I don't know what she's calling it, but every month you take a project from a WIP from 2016, and you declare, okay, I'm going to have this done by the end of the month. So this is my declaration for this month. My Terribly Simple Shawl for me, because it's been on the needles for the longest time. So, there's that. And the hat that I'm wearing today, I forgot to tell you, Natalie made this for me. It's the apple pie hat by Tin Can Knits. And I've been wanting to make it, and I just have so many other things that I'm knitting. And I'm like, I want this hat. You're better at cables than I am. So you make I'll make you your socks and you make me this hat. And she said, okay. So the next project that I am working on is a sockhead hat. I casted this on a couple days ago. This is in my SoFlo Mario Brothers bag. I love Mario Brothers so much. And so this is the Flying Kettle yarn. I think it's her glider 2-ply in the Betcha by Golly colorway. It's mostly whites with purples and blues, speckles, and pinks in there. And there's some oranges in there. But I don't have a speckled sock head. So I have to make a speckled sock head. And this yarn has been wound up for a long time. And I'm trying to use my yarn that is wound up before I wind anymore. So, I wound it at my mother's because it was easier to take on the plane. Sorry, I'm replying to my mother right now. My mother-in-law has been sick for the past few days, and we are going to Stitches. I will talk more about that later, but I'm in a conversation between my mother and my mother-in-law asking what kind of flights do do we get. So we the next project that I'm working on is a Terribly Simple for Carol. Now, this is my mother's friend. My mother's friend is went to Green Planet and bought me a $50 gift card for the store, and I bought more yarn. But she also got me this beautiful yarn bowl. It's blue. It's blues and greens, and oh, it's just breathtaking. And I had no idea where to put it, so I put it next to my chair in the living room, so I can put it in there and knit. So this is for her. This is Neighborhood Fiber Company Studio Sock. I forget what colorway this is. I have it in here. This is the Studio Copper Circle. So it's reds and it's blacks and it's variegated. So I am making her a Terribly Simple. I was going to make her an ex-boyfriend, but my mother stole my idea and made her one. So she can't have two. So this is how far along I am on it so far. I'm going to California next month, so I'm hoping to have this done so I can give it to her. And so I'm doing this on size 5s, Knitter's Pride size 5s, on a 24 inch cable. So I'm hoping to have that done so I can give it to her. So maybe that'll be my Down Cellar Studio project declaration next month. So the next one that I'm working on is a crystal hat. Now, my mother-in-law has a friend who's going through breast cancer treatment right now. And when I came home, she's like, I want to buy one of your hats at the craft show, but they all have wool in it. So Carol and Jay bought me this yarn at Green Planet. It's Universal Yarn Bamboo Pop. So I'm doing this on the Martha Stewart loom. I'm making one of my crystal hats, one of my slouchy hats that I made. And I was using one strand. It was too lacy, so I doubled it. And it's more of it's more of a worsted now, but this is about as far as I have on it. This is the Martha Stewart loom. I was, I loomed when Kellen was born back in 2010. I loomed like crazy. I was like, oh, let me, it's like I was making stuff for the craft. About a year after I entered my stuff in the craft show. So I made hats, I made cows, I did all this, and then, I was like, oh, I need a new challenge, because when you travel and you loom, it's like you got to take the loom, you got to make sure you have the hook, and if you don't have the hook, you can't finish your project. So that's when I learned how to knit on needles. I learned on I learned on YouTube on how to knit needles, and ever since then, now that when I loom, my hands cramp. I get hand cramps in my left hand because it's my dominant side. So we have been. I've been working on that. I think this yarn killed my mojo a little bit because I was trying so hard. I was like, oh, well, it needs to be pretty. It can't be basic. It just, yeah. And I was just going through my head. So my mojo was like dead with this yarn over Christmas. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to make it easy on myself. I'm going to pull this pattern out and I'm going to do it. So that's what I'm doing. So the next project that I have on my needles is the Because I Love You shawl. Now this is my first 2-colored shawl that I am doing. This is out of Knit Picks Hawthorne in the Compass and Poseidon colorway. It's a teal and a yellow and a gold. And I got this at the beginning of last year. And I was like, oh, those are Natalie colors. So I'm not making this for Natalie. I'm making it for me. But when I first saw that, I'm like, oh, wouldn't those two look pretty together? So this is Because I Love You shawl, what I have so far. This is the right side, and then you have little picots, and this is the wrong side. You get too into a project and then you think everything looks wrong, but I think I took a couple days off from this project and think that my purl side, I was like, oh, the purl side looks sloppy. But now the purl side looks okay because I took a couple days off from it. So, that's the Because I Love You shawl by Amy Meeks. And I'm doing it on US size 5 needles out of Knit Picks Hawthorne on my Knitter's Pride Dreams and Interchangeables. So, this is in my chicken boots. So far, it's in my chicken boots bag sock box that I got at the Lion Brand Yarn store in New York City when I was visiting for my birthday. So, there's that. And, it's always a good thing to go through this basket because there's lots of things that I don't see, like pens and stuff. So the next project that I have is also in a sock box. This is the Simple Sample Hat by Christina Roy. I forgot to put it in my notes because I forgot that I was working on this project. So this is out of Lion Brand Wool Spun in the tomato colorway. I love this color. And basically, I'm almost done with it. I have let's see, where are my notes? Yeah, I'm on the last section before I start the decreases. Or section before last. But these are on Haya's US size 10 needles. And this one's almost done. So, maybe that will be another work for next month for the flip down. But I forgot to put it in my Ravelry, so I forgot to put it on here. And I cast it on a new pair of socks. I told you that this was going to be long, but this is Cascade Yarns Heritage Wave. And it reminds me of a Zower ball. So the way it's plied. But this is my sock experiment. I'm experimenting with new size of needles, so my mojo's kind of like right now. Sorry. It's like, so this is what I have done so far on the first sock. And maybe I'll just do one sock at a time, because as you see, I have too many projects right now. So I'm working on that. And what else is in here? And then from the craft show, the money I earned, I got my sweater quantity for my next sweater. So I'm doing the calligraphy cardigan by Hannah Fettig. This is it. It's a picture. And I'm swatching right now because I haven't gone to see my friend to start this. I know how to measure gauge, but I'm the person who always second guesses herself. So this is what I've done so far on my swatch. If I count it, I get like 8 stitches per inch, or maybe 12. But if I have Lisa help me, then I'll be better. So that's the calligraphy cardigan by Hannah Fettig. And this is the Cascade 220 Super Wash in the charcoal colorway. I think this is color 900. So I have a bunch of these skeins back here, and I have to go through my skeins or take them out of the bag and put them in separate and put them in something else because I can't puff it down. So my California trip in November was good. We spent Thanksgiving, and we went to Green Planet Yarn the day after in San Jose, and I got my bag and I got yarn, and then we went to our friends on Saturday night, and she got me another gift card, which, like, I told my mom, I said we have to go back tomorrow because I know what yarn that I want. And she got me, so I got the yarn that I wanted. There was only one skein left, so I was like, oh my god. Sorry, my cat just like, so it was a very nice trip. It was very relaxing. I was just enough. 10 days I was there, and it was just enough. And then I came back home, and I finished the hats for my nephews, and, well, my nephew, because I already had nephew number 1 done. I had to do nephew number 2. So, we went to, and then I finished that, and I got the most, the best reaction from my nephew over his hat. And that just like tickled me because I'm like, oh my god, he is so knitworthy, knitworthy. So then, What else was I going to say? So then, now we are set for Stitches West, me and my mother-in-law. We have to get our flights. We have our classes. We have our hotel and our classes, and we're going to, we're now looking for flights to check in. We're checking flights for next month to go to Stitches next month because it starts on Wednesday and we can fly on Thursday. We can fly on Thursday and then we have 2 nights in Santa Clara at Stitches. We have 2 days and then we have and then we're taking my mother-in-law down to Carmel because she's never been there and she wants to go. So it's going to be a very, very fun trip, and I don't think that I have anything else right now to tell you, but I hope that you have a good day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.